Hello friends, in this video, I will guide you to edit a photo to create effects. To be in this situation is at City Hall in San Francisco. So a lot of people say that this veils is fake. A lot of people think this is a collage. However, the truth is not so, this is a raw file you see. Then when I had the technique to master the light and grasp the shooting techniques, it will be very easy for you to take pictures like this. Then I gave very detailed instructions on how to set up the light in the lighting section. If you have participated in my light course, in this section, I will guide you to edit photos. The first thing that I usually do is I reweigh the picture. I will press C. Let me rotate the photo to straighten it a bit. With this photo, I find the upper part is a bit redundant, the lower part is lacking. So I will recompose the photo a bit. I'm going to stretch this leg a little bit longer. Do not drag too much, I will distort this column. Well, this picture is so beautiful. And the first time I tweaked it, I didn't put the rail in. However, in my tool, I has added this feature. Then I go to Other. Then you will see the flare. It has a lot of light patterns. Part 2 and it has rays like this. Lots of new ray models, I just updated. So in this section I will add a ray to the photo, it's more creative. Then you can use any rails here, as you like. And this rail grafting. So it's not a mandatory part, you see? I put it in to try it, but if it doesn't work for me, I can leave it out. This is just a guide, which means you may or may not like to pair. Normally, I doesn't always pair. However, for some photos, I can create effects. When I bounce, I see it straight down, it's not very pretty. So I'm going to make one that has a small bottom. I will choose. Then I finds this, from small to large, is better in this context. Then I'll drag in. Make it straight from the top. Then after I put the rail in, I will delete it. I'm here to delete it. If you want to combine rails, then I encourages you to do it right from the beginning. Why? Because when I adjust the color for a moment, it will sync. And when I adjust it later, sometimes it doesn't sync with my photo. Then it will be fake. So a lot of people they put together are fake because of that. Please note, if I want to give it, I will give it from the beginning. Well, now I is doing an 80% scan. Then I will rescan only 50%. In these parts, I left it with a ray down. Also, if you see this rail, it's too strong. I can reduce the opacity. Then look at it more real, here. Do you see? I'll delete some parts, you see. And delete in this lamp section. I zoom in to get more details for this lamp. Then you see in your FineArt secret there are many effects. You can ray, you can flare, flow, so many effects, you see? Depending on the different situations, I can use the appropriate bokeh. Then in this part, I saw that putting this rail on looked good. And besides, I can give this rail a story. By the way, I will give about 20%. I reduce it slowly, I will see that it moves. That it's not called the whole thing, you see? And now after adjusting the rails, now I will start editing this photo. This rail coupling is not a mandatory element. Depending on your preference, I merge the layer. Then I merge all these layers together. Before, after, just scale the image with more rails. Now to the color correction. Then I found that my photo was a bit underexposed. The reason why? Because I wants to keep the details for the above. So now I will add contrast to my photo. There, I think it's a bit brighter, I can add more contrast. I think I can still add, I just keep adding. Okay, now I see that my picture is quite bright, but I added 0.3 stops more. Then I saw it light up. So with the thing that it lights up, I will lump it together, creating a mask. And now I'm going to get back the details of the parts I want it to be dark. You see, when I increase the light, the parts above it are burnt. Its light's also burned out. Now we'll create a mask. And now I will scan again, saving these parts. I can rise to this level. Then I will save the parts I want. It doesn't burn. This is a very important one, guys. Because of the lamps it burns, it will not be beautiful. Then you see, before, after. In this color correction, you can choose the color in FineArt Secret. I has designed several pre-made indoor arts color swatches. However, I can always adjust. Then I found this photo to be orange. It's a bit dark. So I will reduce the orange color by subtracting orange. Do you see? After I subtract or gone, it decolorizes. If it's too much, I'll reduce it. I seeing that about 50% reduction is what I see, before, after. I have removed a lot of colors already. And now I will restore some parts I want to restore. I click reset brush 100%. Then I will restore the skin part. I go back. If I think 100 is too much, I only recover 50. These lights too, you restore their color. Greater than I saw before, after. Next, if you want a more classic and quality tone, then I will choose a brush, which is plus dark. I will brush on my photo. Then you see this brush? It will help me decolorize, as well as darken those parts. Then you see your scene, it's more classic. Note that dodge the lights. Because I doesn't want it to affect these lights. I should zoom in so I can scan. Where I want to decolorize I scan in, you see? It lost its color, it lost its yellow tint. I won't sweep at the lights. In order for me to focus on the light, the colors I keep here are my lights. Then after I finish scanning, I can review before, after. Before, after. The red color here, I will brighten it up. But first, I will make the subject skin. I choose white skin. I lighten the subject skin a bit. Then now I will adjust the color to red. For this red I will add color cast and I will add red. Here you can see the red one is more prominent. Then I will subtract this red from the skin. Then you see with just a few steps. Then I have a very impressive photo. This photo, now you can also add contrast to it. Here you see it turned on more, here before, after. And you can also reduce the colors here if you think it's too much. I want to decolor, I will choose a brush called decolor. Then when you choose decolor, you scan the darkened parts, you see pale. Then I will reduce the percent. I scan about 40%, I see that it reduces the color, you see. Then it's not too silver. With these lights, if I want it to be brighter, I will brush. Select brush and I choose vibrance. So now I sweep into the lights. Then you see that its color will be darker. So I can scan as many as I want. Vibrance I can choose 2, 3. And the block section you can choose contrast to block the image. I will want the parts that are bright, so I will block them. If this part I wants to light up, I will block it. And if I want the picture to be sharper, I will choose to add detail, so that I can increase the focus for the image. Then with this detail, you will see that your photo has more depth, more detailed blocks. I will reduce it by about 50%. Before, after. Next I will merge all these layers. And I can before, after, you see? My ray, I added it is very real. And this context is also very suitable. I can add detail with brush. Then the eye brush also has a lot of parameters here, you can use. If I want a sharp part, I add detail to it, then you can see that it's sharp, see? The parts you want it to focus on you can scan in. Before, after. And I can sweep into my skirt too. Like then I'll hit the block. Her dress is too light here, I will darken it a bit. Make it more even. And the parts that I wants to make a line, I will put the light in. Then you can see that the dress itself becomes much more impressive. Because thanks to this block. When editing photos, you should note that your photo must be light and dark, see? When I have the light on here, this part is the brightest. So I also didn't hit this part, hit darken. And it will light out evenly, edge light. It's a harmony for the photo. I can put this part down tonight. Because this part is it's outside of his photo. Out of this part of the light. Then I can turn the night down to focus more. Then you see the photo, it is very suitable. Because it's the brightest in the middle and it spreads out to the sides. Now if it's brighter outside, it won't match, the light won't match. You can see how quickly I edited this photo. Before, after. I have a very impressive, very unique effect. And I can also use a lot of other effects. Depending on each case.